Have you ever felt that subtle tug, almost a whisper from the soul that takes you back in time to a younger version of yourself? You see yourself there, amidst decisions, fears, hopes not yet blossomed, and an ardent desire arises to go back, to intervene, to whisper a word of comfort, vital advice. This is a deeply human experience, an echo of our essence that yearns for wisdom and correction. You feel the weight of certain past choices, the what-ifs that reverberate in your mind, memories that seem to carry a burden, an emotional load that subtly manifests in your daily life, in your relationships, in your very perception of worthiness and peace. This feeling is not a sign of weakness, but a call, an invitation from your own consciousness for deep introspection. It is the manifestation of a belief system that, however well-intentioned it was in the past, may today be limiting your full potential, preventing the energy of the now from flowing freely. This pain, this doubt about what could have been, validates the depth of your search for authenticity and freedom, revealing a genuine yearning to transcend the shackles of linear time, to realign your frequency with a greater truth. It is an invitation to look not at regret, but at the hidden power that lies in reinterpretation. Feel this now, as you breathe. But what if the true key to unlocking your timeline didn't lie in an impossible journey to the past, but in a deep and conscious revision of your perception in the present? Imagine your life not as a rigid and immutable road, but as a vibrant river, whose waters from every drop of the past do indeed feed the current you experience in the now. However, and here lies your quantum power, you possess the innate ability to change the direction of your gaze upon the headwaters, to purify the source with a new consciousness, fundamentally altering the flow and quality of the water that runs forward in your present and future. It is a paradox that unveils a profound truth. Your future self, full of wisdom and compassion, is already in some way whispering to your now self, guiding you to this understanding. In this video, we will unravel this extraordinary connection, revealing how your younger self is not a burden but a quantum portal, a point of power that, when honored and understood in a new light, becomes the key to your current and future freedom. You will discover exactly what it truly needs you to see to unlock a reality of purpose, joy, and self-love. Take a deep breath. Feel your feet firmly on the ground. Anchor yourself in this moment and prepare for an inner journey that promises to transform your timeline from the inside out. You often find yourself navigating the silent archives of your mind, observing your younger self, perhaps with a mixture of affection and an unspeakable sorrow for decisions that seem to have shaped your current path. This ingrained perception that life unfolds in an inflexible, straight line, where every past event is carved in stone, dictating your present and sealing your future, is one of the most powerful, yet also one of the most limiting mental constructs we carry. It feeds the pain of regret, the guilt for choices made with a different consciousness, and the frustration of feeling trapped in a narrative you deeply yearn to rewrite. But what would happen if I told you that this straight line is in fact a myth, a three-dimensional illusion that restricts the true quantum nature of your existence? Your reality, perceived through a linear lens, makes every past experience seem like an unbreakable link in a chain of cause and effect, where time flows inexorably in a single direction. However, quantum physics whispers a deeper and more liberating truth to us. Time is not a one-way highway, but a field of interconnected possibilities, where past, present, and future coexist in an eternal now. Your consciousness, the most potent observation point in the universe, is not merely following this line, but rather interacting with it, collapsing waves of potential and re-signifying events. Your present perception, imbued with emotion and intention, possesses the neuroplastic capacity to reinterpret and thus recalibrate the energetic resonance of everything you have experienced. Imagine that time is not a line on the ground that you must follow, but a vast tapestry where each thread represents a moment. Your gaze, your attention, and your emotion are the needles that constantly embroider new patterns, not only in the future, but reconfiguring the texture of what seemed already finished in the past. Spiritual science shows us that memory is not a fixed storage of data, but a living process of neural reactivation that is influenced and shaped each new time you access it. Your neural circuits adapt, and with them, the emotional charge and meaning attributed to each memory. The past, then, is not a static burden, but a vibrational matrix awaiting your new instruction, your new code of love and understanding so that it can release new potential in your now. Connect now with the metaphor of the river of life that resides in your essence. The past is not an immobile and untouchable bank, a frontier you left behind without the power to return, but rather the headwaters, the multiple sources that, at different moments, fed and continue to feed the vibrational flow of your existence. Think of your mistakes, or regrets, as waters that emerged murky from some of these headwaters. As long as you maintain a judgmental gaze upon them, that turbidity, that resonance of guilt or shame, will continue to color the current that flows in your present, and consequently, in your future. Your life is an interconnected system, where the quality of one part intrinsically and undeniably influences the whole. By purifying the headwaters with a new perception, with the light of compassion, understanding, and unconditional love, you are not erasing what happened, but rather transmuting the energy associated with those events. You are literally cleaning the water that flows in your present and that will nourish your future. It is not about denying what was, but about reconfiguring its resonance. This is the paradigm shift, recognizing that the meaning and emotional charge of each past event are malleable, fluid, and can be reprogrammed by your current state of consciousness. Allow this truth to resonate in your vibrational field. Feel how it challenges the rigidity with which you may have related to your own history until this moment. This is why, often, you still feel the weight of old wounds, unspoken words, or lost opportunities today. This weight is not caused by the event itself, but by the emotional resonance you allowed it to maintain in your energetic field. Memories are not just images. They are packets of energy, of frequency. When you relive a moment of pain, you don't just remember it, you reactivate its vibrational signature. This means that if you do not consciously reinterpret and resignify these turbulent headwaters, they will continue to generate waves of energy that can manifest repetitive patterns or blockages in your present reality. Your reality is, after all, a mirror of your internal resonance, a constant dance between what you emit and what you attract. But, and this is the great liberation, your past is not fixed in its emotional resonance. Your neuroplastic capacity and your power as a quantum observer allow you to intervene in this flow. Each time you choose to look at a past event with the eyes of current wisdom, with the compassion you did not have at the time, you not only change the narrative, you literally alter the frequency of that memory in your system. It is as if you are sending a new wave of coherence and love to an event that previously generated dissonance, realigning your energetic field. This act of conscious reinterpretation is a profound work of energetic alignment, an invitation for the totality of your being to harmonize. Your present moment is, therefore, the only point of real power where you can access and transform the vibration of your entire river of life. Your consciousness acts as a quantum observer. Instead of being a passenger carried by the current of what was, you become the conscious navigator who understands the interconnectivity of all your waters. Every choice of perspective, every deep breath of acceptance is an act of wave collapse, defining not only what will come, but also resignifying what has already passed. Feel the responsibility and empowerment that this confers, the power to rewrite your internal map of wisdom, not by denying the paths, but by finding new treasures and hidden lessons within them. Think now about the complexity of your own history, about every version of yourself that has ever existed, about every decision that was made with the best intention, with the knowledge and emotions of that specific moment. Are you allowing yourself to see your younger self with the eyes of current wisdom, with the benevolence and understanding you have cultivated throughout your journey, or still with the critical judgment and demand for perfection that society or even your own ego has imposed on you? Feel this question reverberate deeply within your being. It invites surrender, an emptying of old expectations to make space for a new and more loving perception. This ability to reevaluate the past in the light of the present is more than a mental exercise. It is a profound vibrational reconfiguration that resonates in every cell of your body, altering your electromagnetic field. When you free yourself from judgment about who you were and open yourself to compassion, you not only forgive yourself, you release energy that was previously trapped, creating space for new manifestations. Metaphorical neuroscience shows us that the creation of new synapses of forgiveness and acceptance undoes old neural networks of guilt and shame, paving new paths to joy and abundance. This is the true essence of reprogramming the master self timeline. But how, exactly, can we access this wisdom and rewrite the narrative in the most compassionate and powerful way possible, transforming pain into power, regret into gratitude, and guilt into genuine liberation? This is the core of what we will explore next, an invitation to dive into the deepest waters of your essence and reclaim the power to be who you truly are, free from any temporal ties. If this idea already resonates in your field of consciousness, leave a "I am free" in the comments right now to anchor this new perception in your reality and solidify your commitment to your own expansion. You have already navigated the turbulent waters of the myth of the straight line, understanding that your past is not an immobile bank, but the living headwaters that feed the river of your existence. Now, the invitation deepens. It is time to build a bridge, not to change what has already been, but to access the most powerful portal that exists within you, the younger version of yourself. It is not about revisiting pain with judgment, but about approaching with the lens of wisdom that only your current self holds, a wisdom capable of transmuting regret into an infinite current of gratitude and learning. This is an act of quantum sovereignty, where you, as a conscious observer, collapse new possibilities of healing and acceptance by reaching out to who you once were, with the totality of love your heart can offer. Your younger self is not just a distant memory or an echo of past experiences. It is a vital point of resonance, a source of energy that continues to influence the vibrational field of your present. Think of it as a fractal of consciousness. Each version of you, at every point in the timeline, is intrinsically connected to the whole. By reconnecting with compassion to these past fractals, you not only heal old wounds but also realign the energetic coherence of your entire being. Imagine the unprocessed emotions or fears of your child self as subtle blockages in the river's flow, creating eddies that persist in your current reality. Accessing this portal is the opportunity to dismantle these blockages, allowing energy to flow freely, releasing your capacity to manifest with clarity and power in the now, transcending the limitations that were once imposed by a perception of pain or lack. Approach this task not as a judge of the past, but as a gardener of time, planting seeds of understanding and acceptance. The metaphor of the river of life extends here. Imagine you are building an invisible bridge of light and intention, a bridge that gently takes you back to the source of your experiences, not to alter the original course of the water, but to bring love and understanding to the turbulent waters that once flowed from there. There is no need to change what happened, for every event, every choice, every moment was an essential part of the journey that brought you to this moment of awakening. Instead, the goal is to infuse this source with a new vibrational frequency, the frequency of unconditional compassion, self-forgiveness, and profound gratitude. This is your quantum gift to your younger self, and through it, to your present and future self. Realize that every version of yourself, at any age, did the best they could with the emotional, mental, and spiritual resources they possessed at that specific moment. Your child self did not have the perspective, wisdom, or processing capacity that you have now. Your teenage self was navigating a sea of emotions and discoveries without the complete map you hold today. Feel this profound truth resonate in your chest. There were no mistakes, only lessons. The choices that seem wrong in retrospect were, in fact, the necessary experiments of the universe in its human form, essential guides that paved the way for your current evolution. To honor these versions means to acknowledge their courage, their innocence, their efforts, and to release the weight of judgment that you often still carry. It is an act of validation that transcends linear time and allows for a deep liberation. To truly integrate this understanding, close your eyes for an instant and feel the energy of compassion in your body. Allow this feeling to start in your heart, a soft and expansive warmth that radiates to every cell of your being. Breathe deeply, imagining that with each inhalation, you inhale forgiveness and acceptance for all versions of yourself, And with each exhalation, you release any residue of guilt, regret, or shame that may still be lodged in your nervous system. Feel how your body relaxes, how your shoulders drop, how the tension in your jaw dissolves. You are creating a safe space, an internal sanctuary, where your young self can finally be seen, understood, and loved unconditionally without the need to justify or explain their actions. It is a visceral healing experience that manifests in every fiber of your body, reverberating to your essence. The paradigm shift here is monumental. What you perceived as regret, as indelible marks of a past to be lamented, now reveals itself as a treasure of wisdom and strength. Every challenge, every moment of fragility of your younger self was a lesson in disguise, a catalyst for your resilience and for the depth of your soul. It is from these mistakes that you built the strong and wise person you are today. Feel a wave of gratitude emerge. Thank your child self for their persistence, your teenage self for their search for identity, your young adult self for their courage in exploring the unknown. Every experience, however painful it may seem in retrospect, was an essential step on the ladder of your ascension. This gratitude does not nullify the pain, but transcends it, transforming it into a powerful source of fuel for your present and for the conscious creation of your future. Now visualize your younger self. How old are they? How do they look? It can be a specific moment or an archetypal image. Allow this image to emerge in your mind with clarity, effortlessly. Breathe and feel the presence of this version of you. Imagine that you can reach out to this version, offer a warm hug, a word of comfort, a gaze that conveys total acceptance and unconditional love. Tell them everything you wish you had heard at that moment. You are loved. It's okay. You are safe. I am here with you. Feel the emotion that arises from this exchange, a sense of relief and lightness. This is not a fantasy. It is an active neural reprogramming, where you are rewriting the emotional resonance of that memory in your brain, activating new paths of healing and integration that manifest in the present. Often, the parts of your younger self that most need attention are those you unconsciously try to hide or suppress. The part that felt inadequate in school, the self that suffered a heartbreak, the self that doubted their own voice. These unresolved versions do not disappear. They continue to echo in your energetic field, influencing your current choices, your limiting beliefs, and how you relate to the world and yourself. Feel this now, as you read. The weight of self-criticism, the hesitation to pursue your dreams, the fear of rejection, all can have deep roots in these unembraced versions. Healing begins with recognition. It is an invitation to bring light to the shadows, to unearth the treasures hidden behind perceived wounds, and thus release the power that was contained in each of these past experiences. With this expanded consciousness, reflect deeply. Which part of your younger self is still crying out for attention, for forgiveness, or for a hug of acceptance? Feel the question in your core, allowing the answer to naturally rise to the surface. It could be an image, a sensation, a word. This part of you does not seek guilt or justification, but rather recognition and love. It seeks permission to integrate into the totality of your being, ceasing the need to sabotage or limit your energy flow in the present. It is a silent yet profoundly powerful dialogue between your current wisdom and the innocence of your past. By heeding this call with the reverence it deserves, you not only liberate a version of yourself, but you liberate yourself in the now, from a cycle you may not even have known existed. This compassionate connection is not just a recollection, it is an act of quantum creation. By infusing your younger self with the light of your current consciousness, you are literally reprogramming how your brain and energetic field respond to associated memories. Your brain's neuroplasticity is a powerful tool in this process. Each time you choose to recontextualize and honor your past, you are strengthening new neural pathways of empowerment and self-compassion. The old trails of regret and guilt begin to dissipate, making way for a clearer path of acceptance and gratitude. What was once an anchor now becomes a propeller, driving you forward with newfound wisdom and a deep sense of integrity and wholeness in your being. Now that we are connected with this essential part of ourselves, with this source of our own history, and we feel the profound resonance of its healing, the next question naturally emerges with transformative power. How can we use this energy of love, acceptance, and newfound wisdom to truly unlock our timeline, here and now? How can we translate this reconnection into conscious actions and powerful manifestations in your present and future? The journey doesn't end in understanding. It blossoms in application. If you feel it's time to embrace your past self, to bring this light to all your versions, and to anchor this healing in your reality, click the like button to send this energy of love and healing to the universe and signal your intention for liberation. Now that you have embraced your younger self, the true unlock happens in your perception of reality. Your mind is not a dead, unalterable archive, but a vibrant and living energy field that reacts to your conscious command and intention. The way you read the past, the resonance you allow it to emanate within your being, is not fixed in its nature. It is, in fact, a malleable echo, shaped and reconfigured by the vibrational frequency of your present. Think of your current state as the filter through which all your memories, even the oldest ones, are incessantly reprocessed. If you operate at the dense frequency of guilt, regret, or pain, every image from your past will inevitably be colored by that dark hue, reinforcing limiting patterns in your personal master timeline. But if you choose to elevate your vibration to compassion, gratitude, and wisdom, the same event transforms before your eyes, revealing precious lessons, innate resilience, and the heroic journey that brought you here. This is not naive revisionism. It is the neuroplasticity of your soul in action, reorganizing the synapses of your history for a brighter, lighter future, a future where your unrestricted potential can finally blossom. It is an invitation to rewrite the stars of your own inner sky with every conscious breath. The transformative power of unlocking your timeline, therefore, resides in your inherent ability to reinterpret past events, not as definitive and immutable failures, but as essential catalysts for your deepest and most authentic evolution. Understand, at this very moment, that every decision made, every unexpected detour, every supposed mistake committed along the way, was a vital coordinate on a larger, wiser map, drawn by your own essence to guide you to fullness and your true life purpose. When you change the lens through which you view these events, you fundamentally alter the emotional resonance they carry. This vibrational alteration does not erase the past or deny it, but completely resignifies it in your heart and mind, changing its energetic impact on your now, and crucially, on your future manifestations, which are always a faithful reflection of what you carry internally. This is the core of reprogramming the Master Self timeline, a conscious, intentional, and deeply liberating process of readjusting the vibrational frequency of your memories, transforming them from heavy anchors that held you back into sails that propel your ship forward with a new and powerful energy of purpose and freedom. Imagine again the river of your life, flowing incessantly through the valleys of time. You in the present are the conscious bank, from which you observe attentively, and every moment of your past is the water that incessantly flows through it. If you are positioned on the bank of judgment, perceiving yourself as a victim of circumstances or with deep regret, you will see the current of the past as relentless turbulence, full of sharp rocks and challenges that made you stumble painfully. This perspective, laden with negative emotions, creates energy eddies in your present, attracting and manifesting experiences that mirror and perpetuate that same internal turbulence you project. But what if you change your position on the bank, choosing the expanded viewpoint of gratitude, learning, and compassion for who you were and for the choices you made? The same flow of water now reveals intricate patterns, the untamed beauty of your strength in overcoming the rocks, and the intrinsic wisdom that every twist and turn of the river taught you. The river itself has not changed its course, but your conscious observation has transformed it into meaning, releasing a new energy of fluidity and purpose. Feel this shift in perspective in your body, a light and expansive relief, like a loving embrace of yourself that validates and accepts all your versions. In fact, those rocks in the river, which were once perceived as insurmountable obstacles or painful marks of failure, are now seen in a new light, as strategic footholds, essential steps that were absolutely necessary to propel you into the next phase of your evolutionary journey. Every moment of difficulty in your past, every challenge that tested your resilience to the limit of your strength, was not a misstep or an unnecessary detour, but a powerful and divine springboard for the quantum leap you are about to take, or that you are already manifesting in your reality. The pain of the past, recontextualized by the present gaze of unconditional compassion, self-forgiveness, and deep understanding of your own innate wisdom, ceases to be an open wound that drains your vital energy and ties you to what has already been. Instead, it becomes an honorable scar, a silent and radiant testament to your unshakable inner strength, your infinite capacity for overcoming, and your invincible divine essence. This profound recognition is the portal that opens to true liberation, allowing stagnant energy, which once held you back, to flow freely, making space in your life for new and wonderful manifestations and a future perfectly aligned with your highest and most authentic essence. To activate this reprogramming of the master self timeline in its totality, the primary and most powerful practice begins with a conscious and radical choice: to suspend any and all judgment about who you were and what you did in your past versions. It is a loving and liberating invitation to emotional non-attachment to the old narrative of limitations, guilts, and supposed failures, allowing a new and empowering story to naturally unfold in your consciousness, revealing the truth of your strength. You can do this by visualizing your younger self, not with the critical and harsh eyes of what you should have done or what was a mistake, but with the gentle and unconditional wisdom of what you learned and masterfully overcame. Imagine sending an uninterrupted wave of love, acceptance, and deep understanding to that version of yourself, validating their choices, their fears, and their desires with the totality of your present being, which now understands the complete and expanded picture. Feel the deep liberation, the immediate decompression in your chest, as if a long, tightened knot finally loosens, allowing the energy of gratitude and peace to fill this sacred space within you, restoring your essential wholeness. This practice of sending unconditional love, forgiveness, and understanding to the past is not merely a mental exercise or an empty and superficial technique. It is a powerful and palpable vibrational shift that collapses new waves of possibility and limitless potential in your personal quantum field. By aligning your present frequency with the elevated frequency of gratitude and full acceptance of your journey thus far, you send a coherent and crystal clear signal to the entire universe, resonating with future experiences that mirror this same coherence, this same clarity and self-love that you radiate. It is as if you are rewriting the source code of your own reality, not through external artifices or superficial manipulations, but through the impeccable purity of your deepest intention and the unshakable sincerity of your open and healed heart. Your soul, in its purest essence, yearns for this totality, for this harmonious and loving integration of all your past, present, and future versions, celebrating each one. Allow yourself to feel the overwhelming expansion that comes with this internal reconciliation, this deserved honor for every step and every breath of your unique and sacred journey, freeing yourself from any remaining weight that no longer serves you. The paradigm shift presented here is of overwhelming depth and truly liberating. The past is not an immutable set of events with predetermined and fixed meanings, like an already written book, but rather a dynamic flow of energy and information that you can continuously resignify and reconfigure with your consciousness. Your conscious perception and your purest intention are the most powerful wave collapsers, the architects who transform unlimited potential into tangible and palpable reality. This fundamentally means that you are no longer trapped in a destiny rigidly traced by supposedly old errors or past failures. You are, at this exact moment, in sovereign control of how your past informs your present and, consequently, projects your most desired future aligned with your truth. Free yourself now from the limiting belief that you need to heal the past as if it were an open and painful wound, a heavy burden that needs to be dragged. Instead, begin to lovingly integrate it as a vital, wise, and essential part of your totality, an invaluable treasure of experiences that now serve solely for your highest manifestation and expansion of consciousness. Feel the lightness of this revelation in every cell of your being, a freedom that transcends linear time. At this exact moment of deep introspection and expanded consciousness, as you breathe in the depth of these revealing truths and feel them in your heart, a fundamental question arises from the depths of your own essence. inviting you to an act of radical and transformative liberation. What limiting belief, perhaps forged in some painful event from your past, are you truly ready to let go and release? Now, knowing with every fiber of your expanded being that it no longer serves you on your evolutionary journey, feel this belief, perhaps a persistent inner voice that says, "I am not good enough. I do not deserve full love," or "I am destined to fail repeatedly," gently emerging to the surface of your consciousness. It may manifest as a physical knot in your stomach, chronic tension in your shoulders, an oppressive weight in your heart, or a general feeling of discomfort in your body. Observe it without any judgment, merely recognizing its presence and the time it accompanied you, and then, with a deep sigh of surrender, gratitude for the lessons it offered, visualize it completely dissolving into a healing and infinite light, returning to the quantum void. You are free. Allowing this belief to dissolve into the vast field of infinite possibilities, is much more than a simple passing wish or a superficial intention. It is an energetic and unshakable decision that sends a new high-frequency command to your entire vibrational system and to the universe itself. You are, in this act of pure personal mastery and self-awareness, rewriting your internal code, updating your soul's software to a more potent, more expanded version, perfectly aligned with who you truly are in your divine essence and who you are becoming with each new moment, with purpose and power. This act of conscious liberation is not a convenient forgetting of what happened, but an alchemical and sacred transmutation, transforming the heavy lead of your old restrictions and fears into the pure and shining gold of your new and radiant freedom. Feel the indescribable lightness that comes with this courageous and authentic choice, the sense of unlimited space that opens within you, allowing the energy of your true potential to flow unhindered, without ties, without weights. You are not erasing the history of who you were, but rather cleaning the lens through which it is seen, revealing its true beauty and wisdom. With this new crystalline vision, with this powerful and deep recalibration of your master self timeline, you have not only definitively unlocked your past, but you have opened a portal of infinite and expansive possibilities for your present and for a boundless future, co-created by you. You have honored your sacred journey, integrated all your versions with unconditional love and compassion, and now hold in your hands the vibrant brush to paint the masterpiece of your existence in colors you never before dared to imagine or dream. The resonance of your being has been elevated to a new level of coherence. The connection between your inner self and the outer field has been strengthened to quantum levels, manifesting a new reality for you. Faced with this unquestionable new freedom, this intrinsic power, and this undeniable clarity, the question that echoes in your heart, in your deepest soul, is inevitable, inspiring, and crucial. What is the highest, most aligned next step with your divine essence to manifest the life you truly desire, with wholeness, abundance, joy, and purpose, allowing your being to flourish in its most authentic and radiant fullness, free from old patterns? Feel the answer vibrate within you. Shared knowledge expands and multiplies the very energy it contains, creating a luminous web of consciousness that elevates all who participate in it, in a beautiful collective flow of awakening. If the depth of these transformative revelations resonated with you, if you felt the palpable unlock and liberation in your own personal timeline, then know, with all certainty and gratitude, that there are others, in your life circle and beyond, who yearn for this same profound liberation, for this same paradigm shift that you have just experienced and integrated into your being. Your own unlocking journey serves as a radiant beacon for them, a living and inspiring example of what is possible when one embraces truth. Allow this light to extend. Let this powerful message of transformation, compassion, and self-love reach those who ardently seek clarity, empowerment, and permission to be who they truly are. Share this video now, sending this frequency of healing, reinvention, and abundance into the collective field, and be an active catalyst for the systemic change the world so desperately needs, and that begins in each of us, from the inside out. Feel the potency of this act of love. Feel now the profound reverberation of everything we have unveiled together, the undeniable truth that you are not merely a passenger in the current of time, but the very essence that shapes it, every instant. We have traversed the journey of reprogramming the master self timeline, understanding that the veil of the past, once perceived as an immutable prison, dissolves under the conscious gaze of the present. You discovered that the shadows of regret and guilt are nothing more than vibrational frequencies awaiting a new resonance, a new energetic choice to be transmuted into pure wisdom. This path is not about erasing what was, but about rewriting its intrinsic meaning, honoring every experience as a fundamental pillar of your evolution. The power to unlock your timeline, to redefine your trajectory, resides not in a distant future or an unalterable past, but in the profound and sovereign freedom you exercise here and now. Acknowledge the incredible shift in your perception, the neuroplasticity of your being expanding to embrace this new reality. This is the revelation your younger self yearns for you to understand, that the key to liberation is not in regretting what could have been, but in infusing compassion and love into the fabric of your history, becoming the conscious architect of your destiny. The present moment, which once seemed merely a point of transition between what passed and what is to come, reveals itself as the only quantum portal where all possibilities coexist and can be collapsed into a new manifestation. Your ability to love and accept every version of yourself, the self who erred, the self who doubted, the self who learned, is the most potent frequency to readjust your entire energetic field, resonating with the totality of your essence. There is no need for external forgiveness, only the internal permission to release the ties, to dissolve the knots that you, unknowingly, wove into your own journey. It is a surrender to the truth that everything was and is perfect in its evolutionary purpose. Think again of the river of life, but now, go beyond the image of an external observer. Feel in your cells that you are not just observing its waters flow, but that you are the river itself, the current that moves and adapts, the spring that gushes, and the delta that embraces the ocean. Every drop, every murmur, every rock that diverted its course at some point are not errors, but intrinsic parts of your landscape, of your fluvial identity. And just as the river has the infinite capacity to renew itself, to purify its waters as it flows, to find new paths when blocked, you also possess this innate resilience. Your essence is one of continuous flow, of adaptation, and of constant recreation. You carry with you not the weight, but the accumulated wisdom of all your banks, of every season you have traversed, nourishing the soil of your now with the richness of your past experiences. This is true freedom, understanding that memory, the past, is not an anchor that ties you to a fixed point, but the topography that informs your flight. The river, in becoming more conscious of its own nature, can choose to flow with a new energy, lighter, clearer, more intentional. The waters that were once murky with uncertainty or sorrow can now be illuminated by the coherence of your present intention, by the love you project onto your own history. Imagine this new energy pulsating within you, transforming old scars not into marks of pain, but into medals of overcoming, into symbols of your indomitable capacity to evolve. The quantum field responds to your vibration, and by emanating this new frequency of acceptance and gratitude for your journey, you reorganize the matrix of your reality, attracting synchronicities and manifestations that reflect this new inner truth. Your totality expands with this permission. Understand that this transformation does not mean that life will be devoid of challenges, for existence is an eternal dance between chaos and order, a cycle of expansion and contraction that propels us forward. However, your perspective on these challenges changes radically. Where before you saw insurmountable obstacles, you now perceive veiled opportunities for growth, tests that refine your essence and strengthen your connection with the higher self. The neuroplasticity of your brain is constantly being molded by the stories you choose to tell yourself, and by retelling your narrative with compassion and wisdom, you literally reprogram the neural circuits that sustain your perception of the world. There will no longer be the weight of, "If only I had done things differently," but the clarity of, "Everything happened as it needed to happen for me to reach this understanding now." Embrace the continuous journey, celebrating every step, every breath, every new revelation as an integral part of your masterpiece. The freedom to be now, to fully inhabit this moment, is the greatest gift you can offer yourself and all versions of yourself. It emerges when you release the need to control the past or to anxiously predict the future, anchoring yourself in the creative power of the present. It is in this space of total acceptance that the resonance of your true essence manifests, aligning you with the field of infinite possibilities. Your reality is, and always has been, a holographic reflection of your inner consciousness. By unlocking your timeline, you are not changing the past, but rather the way the past resonates in your present, freeing you to create a future that is in full coherence with who you truly are, an unlimited and powerful being. Allow this truth to settle into every fiber of your being, igniting a flame of self-confidence and purpose that cannot be extinguished by external events. With this understanding, you become the conscious observer of your own life, the quantum scientist who collapses new realities with every thought, every emotion, every choice. There is no longer room for self-censorship or for the corrosive criticism that often accompanied you on your journey. In their place, an unconditional love blossoms for every facet of your existence, for every step that brought you to this moment of expansion. You recognize yourself as a complete, complex being, deeply worthy of all the happiness and abundance that the universe has to offer. The emptiness you may have felt before, the incessant search for something out there to fill a void in here, now reveals itself as the totality of your own essence waiting to be fully embraced. This is the culmination of your reprogramming the master self timeline, the unshakable certainty that your power is intrinsic and eternal. This inner journey of resignification and acceptance is the true legacy you build for yourself, a gift that extends through all your future manifestations. Do not underestimate the power of a subtle shift in your perception, for it is from it that the greatest revolutions happen. Every time you choose to look at your young self with compassion instead of judgment, you send waves of healing through time-space, reverberating in your present reality and projecting a new vibrational foundation for what is to come. This is true quantum manifestation, aligning your internal frequency with the reality you wish to experience. The integration of all your versions is the symphony your soul yearns to play, a melody of harmony and fullness that resonates with the entire universe. Feel this unity, this totality that you are, without fragments, without divisions. So, with this new consciousness pulsating in every fiber of your being, with the freedom to be now blossoming in your heart, I invite you to a deep yet tangible introspection. What action, however small, will you take today, now, to honor your young self and celebrate your present self with all the love and acceptance it deserves? It could be a moment of silence, to feel gratitude for your lessons, a letter to your past self full of affection, or simply the conscious choice to change your internal dialogue from self-criticism to self-validation. This action does not need to be grand to be powerful. Its authenticity and the intention behind it are the true vibrational currency. Anchor this decision in your energy field, feel it reverberate through your body, transforming theory into experience, idea into palpable reality. Allow this choice to be your personal manifesto of freedom. The journey of self-discovery is infinite, a river that never stops flowing, and reprogramming the master self-timeline is a powerful tool you now possess to navigate its waters with mastery and grace. Remember that every time you choose compassion over criticism, wisdom over regret, you are activating new potential within yourself, expanding your field of possibilities, and drawing a reality more aligned with your soul. This is the essence of quantum manifestation. It is not a search for something external, but an internal alignment that is reflected in the outer world. You have the innate ability to be the healer of your own story, the alchemist who transforms lead into gold. Your history is not your prison, it is your power, and there is much more to be revealed about how gratitude for the past can shape your quantum future, or how to manifest your ideal self without rules. Continue to explore, to feel, to allow yourself this divine dance that unfolds in our community. If the depth of this message resonated in your heart and illuminated the path to your own freedom, I invite you to anchor this truth even further into your reality, to continue your journey of deep self-discovery, of alignment with your purpose, and of activating your full quantum potential. Subscribe to the channel right now By doing so, you not only connect with a community of seekers who, like you, are committed to expanding consciousness, but you also ensure you receive the latest keys and insights to unlock every facet of your existence. Activate the bell, so you don't miss any of our explorations into how neuroscience and quantum physics intertwine to manifest the extraordinary life you were born to live. Your transformation is our passion, and together, we will unravel the mysteries of your limitless capacity to be, to create, and to love.